Limited time modes are modes in Fortnite that keep the game fresh. They add in all kinds of ridiculous rules or elements to the game that don't really fit the base game or are extreme. But you know what? That's okay, because after all, it is just an LTM. Be sure to use code T5G in the item shop when you pick up any new cosmetics, and exactly one count package of sour gummy worms will fall from the sky. Number 10, 50v50. At number 10 is the first ever LTM that was added into Fortnite all the way back in the year of the mode's release, 2017. Seems like so far away now that we think about it. We still had Dusty Depot, the prison, the OG factories. Damn, I want to go back already. Anyway, I'm talking about the first classic 50v50 limited time mode, which was released in December 2017 for everyone to hop into. If you don't know what 50v50 is, then why are you watching this video? Well, just in case, it's a team of 50 versus 50, another team of 50, and a match where the final circle is shown at the beginning of the game. With it being the first ever LTM added into Fortnite, lots of players were very eager to just hop into a brand new mode that wasn't the same old default playlists. The mode was announced in a special way, which was during the Game Awards 2017, a hugely popular night. Epic Games came to the event and released a trailer for the Fortnite mode, which you might have seen before. Excitingly, the mode was released the very next day after being announced, and tons of players loved it. Unfortunately, it got quite boring very quickly, as it was in the game for a lengthy amount of time, came back repeatedly with different versions or variants. 50v50 got knockoff modes such as 50v50 high explosives, 50v50 close encounters, and 50v50 solid gold, as well as soaring 50s. Thankfully, we haven't seen a form of the mode since October of last year, ever since Team Rumble showed up. This is on the list, however, because it kickstarted every other LTM and was the base for a lot of content, however tiring those modes may turn out to be. Number 9 is Getaway. Coming in at number 9 is the Getaway LTM. We've had lots of longer themed events taking over the game like Fortnitemares, but the high stakes event was the first time that an original Fortnite LTM took over the game for a prolonged period of time back in September of last year. And Thanos doesn't count, okay? It doesn't count. While Fortnite usually teased stuff like this prior to release with some vague emojis or something, this time instead they decided to drop the teaser trailer out of nowhere and release the mode 2 days later. Of course, if you've played the mode, you'd know how original and a step up from other LTMs before it was. The Getaway LTM was a part of the high stakes event that came with free challenges or rewards and the wildcard outfit in the item shop. In the mode, 4 safes are put into supply drops, which are then dropped randomly around the map. These safes have a jewel inside of them, and you have to find and unlock a safe before picking one up. The jewel can then be picked up by one player on your squad, and they run slower than usual, but also get automatic shield and health regeneration. You then have to safely bring the jewel to a van on the map, which other players could be protecting in order to win the game. It was a very creative and original capture the flag style type mode, which was a cool addition to the game for a week before it returned earlier this season. It's shown up once since then, but we'd love to see more things like it. And in number 8, we've got Disco Domination. Disco Domination hits number 8 on this list. This mode was long leaked before its first appearance into the game during Season 6, and when it finally arrived, it brought a mix of criticism and love in the community, as it was one of the first modes to add respawning into the game. Many players loved it as a way to practice shooting one another instead of actually playing the objective. In this mode, 2 teams battle it out by taking over dance floors scattered across the map and killing one another and dancing on the stage in order to create an objective and raise your dance ball. By the end of the match, the team who hits 100% on their bar wins. It's pretty much a form of domination from COD, but with lots of default dancing and disco balls. Oh boy, play that funky music, Fortnite. Number 7, high explosives. High explosives. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This was it. This was the game mode, my friend. Blowing stuff up in a game mode. This is the game mode we need. High explosives was an early LTM added to Fortnite during December 2017, shortly after the classic 50v50 launched to success. Appearing near the end of Season 1 and beginning of Season 2, high explosives was a much requested mode, which carries over all the default settings of a regular core playlist match. Nothing is different other than the loot that drops, which is of course explosive weapons only. You're able to play with rocket launchers, grenade launchers, grenades, and when the second version of the mode came around in Season 3, it brought guided missiles and remote explosives with it. High explosives also turned friendly fire off, which, if you OGs remember, was a thing back in the early days and was super annoying. You'd be team killed by random guys all the time. I'm so glad Epic ended up disabling it permanently, but the LTM is super fun to play when shooting each other with a long range and short range explosives in a battle to see who blows up who and what building and which area is safe. Spoiler alert, none of them. I'd personally love to see an update to this mode with the boom bow added. That would be sick, but oh my goodness. You guys remember the grenade launcher spam with this game mode? It is just constant. It's a blast to do it to other people, but when you are on the other side of just that grenade launcher, just boom, 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 it's just like your structures just get deleted. You can't do anything. What do? You have to jetpack away or something. There's nothing you can do. Run away. Run. Number 6, Slide. And number 6 on the list is Slide, a mode that seemed to go under the radar for quite a lot of players as it came and went all the way back at the start of Season 7. Slide was part of the 14 Days of Fortnite event just before Christmas of last year, which mixed brand new limited time modes with older ones every single day for 2 weeks. On day 4 of the 14 Days of Fortnite event, players were treated to a mode titled Slide, which freezes your feet permanently in-game, giving you the slippy, icy effect that you'd get walking across something like the frozen, greasy grove or a chiller trap. Slide also gives you unlimited grappler ammo and an increased supply of all other forms of ammunition, which allows for great movement around the map. It's hard to hit those targets though, which is why there's more ammo for you to use. Aim assist definitely plays a part in this mode, so for PC players, make sure your aim is on point before playing Slide because you're gonna have a bad time otherwise. Number 5 is Floor is Lava LTM. The Floor is Lava LTM is one of the most recent notable LTMs to date in Fortnite, and it's pretty much what the name entails. The floor is indeed lava in this mode. It's not like some kind of sandbox makeshift game mode where you're just pretending it's lava. It really is lava. It's an obvious play on the game that we all played as kids, or still do to this day, where you would try to get from point A to point B without touching the floor. Or if you're a teenager, then you probably still play this today in the grocery store. Obviously, Epic added a Fortnite touch to this mode, and instead of getting from one point to another, you just gotta shoot your way to survival. The devs originally teased the Floor is Lava LTM all the way back in February 2018 in a blog post. They said, "We want to make internal improvements so we can introduce more involved LTMs. For example, the Floor is Lava." That was a year ago, and they finally added it, and it's amazing. Fitting with the Season 8 theme of pirates and treasure hunting and volcanoes, this mode is so fun to play, and seeing the whole map flooded in lava is a true sight to behold. It's scarier when you're gliding and there's nowhere to go except the lava below you because it's risen so quickly. You look down and you just see pure magma everywhere. Scary stuff. But what took so long to add it, Epic? A year? Come on. Actually, you know what? It makes a lot of sense because there's a lot of lava and it covers the entire surface of the map, and the fact that it doesn't crash the game is pretty impressive from a developing standpoint. And I love the fact that your mats actually go up during the game mode. I think that was my favorite part about that game mode, and I love to see more LTMs like that where you just keep getting mats and mats and mats because I love to build. Build battling is my thing. Number 4. One Shot. At number 4 is One Shot, a mode that was released during the 14 Days of Fortnite event for Christmas of last year. The 14 Days event also introduced the Siphon LTM, which turned out to be a disaster when it was added to default playlists and then removed. If you want to see a revert or even want to ask, let us know in the comments, but in this limited time mode, you're only allowed snipers and you're stuck with a very low amount of health. Of course, this is because you're supposed to die in one shot. To spice things up even further though, Epic Games made it so that you have a heavily reduced set of healing items alongside low gravity and also zero fall damage to allow for maximum bounciness and hopping around the island. It was actually a really fun mode and a great way to rank up kills by bouncing around with a hunting rifle and simply just by taking out bots. It takes a while at first to get used to the low gravity and also sniper rifles, but you eventually master moving around in that low gravity state, start popping enemies left, right, and center. It's probably best to never stop moving around in this mode because anyone could be camping on a mountain or in a tree and take you out just like that. Remember, one shot and you're done. But number 3 is the Blitz Showdown. Originally in Fortnite, there was an LTM called Blitz, which was extremely simple and yet effective for those wanting a quick match. I love this game mode. Blitz created much shorter storm times, which made games 15 minutes long at maximum. Very fast-paced movement. The storm immediately closes in once players have dropped, so no looting then running. It's land in the circle or die. It's very hectic and great competitive mode, so why not make it ranked? And that's what Epic did. Of course, it's in Blitz Showdown, the original LTM returned, but it was a new competitive version which featured faster storm circles and much more loot. Showdown also added the Port-a-Fort, Clingers, and LMGs. If you could complete 25 matches of the mode and do well, you were able to qualify to win prizes. Once the event ended, the standings were updated, with the winners getting V-Bucks for free. Even better than playing this mode was watching pro players compete with these insanely small and quick circles. Fun times. I personally wish Epic would do more LTMs in the competitive scene. Can you imagine something like the Floor is Lava, but competing for money? I'd watch that so much, but to be honest with you, the Floor is Lava would be a rage fest. We'll see if they ever do more stuff like it. Maybe not in the World Cup, but another tournament. Fingers crossed. Number 2 is Infinity Gauntlet. When Avengers Infinity War smashed box office records back in May of 2018, I don't think a single person was expecting Fortnite to drop an insane announcement that they would be collaborating with Marvel for a brand new limited time mashup that brought the Mad Titan Thanos to the game. In this mode, everything is normal, however, the Infinity Gauntlet drops in a random location in this map, and the first player to pick it up is transformed into Thanos himself and given all the abilities of the Gauntlet from the film. Thanos can instant kill enemies with a punch, fire a laser blast, hit the ground with a huge amount of damage, and do super jump across large areas of the map. He was insanely overpowered at first, causing streamers such as Ninja to call for a nerf, and he was eventually given a nerf before leaving the game for good. Or did he leave for good? Coming in on the number 1 spot is Thanos' return in the Endgame LTM, which arrived into Fortnite this week. This mode is a part of a huge collaboration between Marvel and Fortnite, which involves all new skins, cosmetics, challenges, and more. The Endgame mode is the best LTM that has ever been added to the game objectively in terms of scale. You want to talk about greatness, it's the greatest because it is the largest, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best, I guess. I can't stop playing it. It's a lot of fun. I mean, there are so many new weapon skins, abilities, and more, and it feels like an entirely new game. In this mode, you're either on the team of heroes fighting to stop Thanos, or you're on his team as the Chitauri from the films. As the heroes, you must protect the Infinity Stone around the map from being collected by Thanos and his crew. Imagine in a free-to-play game, you are given the opportunity to save the universe. That's pretty neat. You can use weapons such as Hawkeye's bow, Iron Man's repulsors, Iron Man's jets, Captain America's shield. You get super jump, super speed as him, Thor's Stormbreaker axe. There's so much fun to use and be had, and I wish they were in creative. But Thanos has the same abilities as he did back in the Infinity Gauntlet mode, but his Chitauri minions have all new guns like a laser rifle and a laser pulse launcher that has insanely good range. At the moment, it's a bit more tilted in the hero's favor, but hopefully with a few tweaks, the mode can be a bit more balanced. But that has been our list of the top 10 Fortnite LTMs ranked from worst to best. Be sure to click that like button if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you're new, push notifications on. Use code T5G in the item shop whenever you purchase any new cosmetics. You gotta pick up that new Avengers skin and keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.